So I've been using this lens for about a year now. And before it, I was using the 10-24 non-WR version. Do I regret purchasing it? This lens goes everywhere with me when I travel. Whenever I travel, this is the first lens that I would pack. No questions asked. And the reason is simple. First, it is small and compact. It will always fit in my bag. Even if I carry my camera on my wrist or whatever, this is not a lens that I would feel like it's dragging me down. Second, versatility of the focal length. The focal length of the 10-24, which is equivalent to approximately 14 to 35 mm, is a great lens when it comes to documenting landscape, people, streets of everywhere you go. Of course, it will not give you the reach of, let's say, the 70 to 300, but you will be able to take pictures of whatever is in front of you, and thanks to its beautiful range, to make sure that you will not miss any moment. The fact that it is now weather resistant compared to the first version of the lens is extremely important when it comes to traveling. When you travel, you're not master of the elements, you're not master of the conditions. You can bring this lens now under the snow, under the rain, or in a dusty environment, and you don't have to care too much about it. I think that just because of the WR of this lens, it's pretty much worth the upgrade, and that's pretty much what the upgrade is about. Now, this lens is great for both photography, because it gives you a stellar image, very sharp edge to edge on pretty much the whole aperture range, but it is also great for video. If you're trying to vlog, if you're trying to document what's around you, and you are mostly shooting handheld, this lens will help you get great results and your footage will look really stabilized. Now, if you're walking around, I would say that the OIS and the IBIS of the Fujifilm system at the moment is still a bit wobbly, but if you're trying to get a static shot, this lens really helps you stabilize your shots and will help you get that tripod-like effect. Now, this lens comes also with the new design of the Fujifilm lenses, where the aperture ring also have an automatic position that can be locked. I don't necessarily really mind this design, nor I love it, but it's good to point out that it's a bit different from the previous design. The autofocus on this lens is also pretty quick. It helps you nail your shot pretty much every single time, and you will not basically be slowed down by this lens. Yes, it is not an LM lens, LM standing for linear motor, but you will still achieve pretty much fast results when it comes to autofocusing with this lens. It is an f4, so it also helps nailing the focus most of the time. But if autofocus is a concern for you, don't worry about this lens. This lens has no problem autofocusing. Now, while I think that this is kind of regrettable, because Fujifilm released this lens, I think in 2021, it's kind of a shame that they did not make sure that this lens was actually compatible with the new 40 megapixel that they were gonna release a year after. However, I want to point out that, okay, even if it's not able to release 40 megapixel fully, you will not have any image quality issue with this lens when you pair it with the Fujifilm X-T5, for example. I personally always use those two together, and I haven't noticed any issue at all when it comes to resolving megapixel of the X-T5. I'm going to show you now a bunch of pictures taken with the 10-24, and you will see that you don't really notice the difference between another lens because you don't know what exactly is 40 megapixel, but it will still give you stellar result and you will have great quality images with it. Now, being an f4, this lens has some limitation when it comes to low light compared to, let's say, the 18mm f1.4 or the 33mm f1.4 or an f1 or f1.2 lens. This lens will definitely let less light coming in, right? So if you are okay with cranking up your ISO, you can purchase this lens. But if you want to shoot exclusively in low light and you want to use this lens for that, this might not be the best purchase for you. So keep that in mind. Okay, so what is my verdict for this lens? I've owned this lens for about a year and a half, I think. I forgot. Honestly, I forgot to review it because I did not have anything to say about it. And that is not a bad thing at all. That means that I haven't thought once that this lens was limiting me in any way. Every time I want to use it, which is usually daytime, for landscape, for documenting, or for videos, I don't have any issue with it. I know that focus-wise, it will do the job. I know that image quality-wise, I won't have any complaint. And that if I need a low light specific lens, this is not the lens that I will reach for. So if you are in that case, and if you're looking for a wide angle zoom that you want to use for street travel, a landscape, real estate photography, this is definitely the lens that I would recommend to look at. If WR is not a necessity for you, if you mostly shoot inside, let's say real estate on a tripod, then consider the older version of this lens because they have the same optical formula. So you will not sacrifice anything when it comes to image quality. The only thing that you sacrifice is basically the new design and the WR of the lens. So let me know if you have any question about this lens. Thank you for watching this video. And if you've missed it, check out this video right here where I talk about my collection of lenses. See you there.